Law enforcement are on high alert in D.C. for the March for Israel rally.
Delicious cookies with a health twist available this holiday season.
And UNT's campus is about to get some extra holiday cheer.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is ntTV Nightly News.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on ntTV Nightly News. I'm Brooke Deering.
And I'm Avery Collins.
A developing story tonight, the U.S. government has avoided a shutdown, at least for now. Just hours ago, the U.S. House passed a short-term bill averting a government shutdown which was scheduled for Friday. It's the first major piece of legislation passed by new Speaker Mike Johnson. The bill is set to fund the government through the early new year. It passed 336 to 95 and goes to the Senate for approval.
Tens of thousands of people are marching in Washington, D.C. at the National Mall in support of Israel. They also demand that remaining hostages be released from Hamas captivity. This has remained a peaceful march thus far, but strong feelings are on the rise. CNN's Laura Aguirre has details.
A sea of Israeli flags, Jewish people and supporters gathering in the nation's capital Tuesday.
We will stand on the National Mall in the most visible place in this country and say America will not stand for this.
October 7th was a crime against the Jewish state, indeed against humanity.
Israel will cease their counteroffensive when Hamas ceases to be a threat to the Jewish state.
As Israel takes its retaliatory fight against Hamas into a second month, the toll on Gaza's civilian infrastructure has been devastating. Some march attendees worry the graphic images of war could shake President Joe Biden's pro-Israel stance.
There's a lot of pressure for him to want to be moved in another direction, but so far he's supporting Israel. That's the most important thing.
Still others have a deeply personal reason for attending the march.
The Hamas terrorist organization killed my cousin Oria.
Also in the spotlight at the rally, rising anti-Semitism, especially on some college campuses.
Every university leader in this country has a responsibility to ensure that no student is intimidated or harassed on campus because of their religion.
My grandchildren look back at this moment. I want to be able to say I was there at a moment where our community and our country needed me to stand up for our country and our future.
I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
Before the conflict, Al Salam Mills, the largest flour and wheat manufacturing mill in Gaza, was producing 300 tons of flour. Now they're limited to 75 tons a day and are running out of fuel to grind the flour. The mill is the only one operated in the middle of the war, and officials say they can't produce enough flour for more than 2 million people. Footage obtained by CNN showed hundreds of people standing outside, screaming for flour. People are waiting for hours, and often there is none left. Food in Gaza is running out. The fighting continues, and any kind of humanitarian aid is limited.
The issue of transgender students in public schools and their participation in various activities erupted last night in Sherman, just about 1 hour from Denton. In the middle of the controversy is the famous American musical Oklahoma and one high school student. Aaron Pillay reports.
This is not the Bearcat way.
A full house inside Monday's Sherman ISD Board of Trustees meeting. And a large crowd outside the administration building.
What are you confused about?
65 people wanted to be heard, all concerned about recent decisions about the district's theater program, including Philip Hightower, the father of a transgender male who lost his lead role.
This decision by the SISD Superintendent, Dr. Tyson Bennett, that he made unilaterally without the school board's input, has crushed all of these young kids.
Many expressed frustrations with the new version of Oklahoma the district chose. SISD said it was to be more age-appropriate.
This new version is described on the script website of Concord Theatricals as being, quote, for pre-high school students with content edited for shorter attention spans, unquote.
Others added the new version is much shorter and removes many of the students' roles.
The students do not need a dumbed-down production.
One theater student sat in the audience, listening to each person who addressed the board. The transgender male, Max Hightower, who has been at the center of the whole controversy.
Nobody stood up and opposed. Nobody did anything like hateful against me.
Thankful for the support and hopeful it will be enough to put him and his castmates out of the spotlight and back onto the Bearcat stage.
I'm hoping that things change for the better.
The board unanimously decided to vote to reinstate the original version of the cast and of the production as it was before the gender rule was created, but it will continue a discussion on Friday.
Florida and Texas lead the country when it comes to banned books. In Miami area concerts, the singer Pink will be giving away 2,000 banned books. ntTV's James Peeler has more. James?
Thank you, Brooke. Alice Beth Moore Hart, better known as the pop artist Pink, has teamed up with PEN America and will be distributing thousands of banned books at Florida concerts, a state which has seen a rise in banned book efforts. She's scheduled to play shows in Miami and Sunrise, Florida, and at these shows, Pink plans to give away nearly 2,000 books, including The Family Book by Todd Parr, The Hill We Climb by Amanda Gorman, and Beloved by Toni Morrison. Representatives with PEN America say Florida had the highest number of book ban cases last school year, more than 1,400 cases. That's all for me. Back to you all in the studio.
Thanks, James. Brooke, I just cannot seem to get used to this cold weather. Today, I was wearing 2 layers and a coat, and now I feel like I need to wear a t-shirt.
Who knows what to expect when the sun goes down? Let's see what our weather anchor Sam Price can tell us. Sam?
Thanks, guys. If y'all were wondering where I was last week, I unfortunately caught the cold. Speaking of catching the cold, the weather. Right now, it's a sunny day at 69 degrees, feels like 72. We have a bit of wind coming from the east-southeast at 2 miles per hour. Tonight, there will be a little bit of clouds in the sky with a high of 46 degrees. It'll feel like 47, rather chilly, with some winds coming from the northeast at 4 miles per hour. Those clouds will continue till tomorrow when we'll have a temperature of 70 degrees. It feels like 72, and we'll have a bit more wind coming from the east-northeast at 6 miles per hour. Now, it is a little bipolar, this Texas weather, but it might get cold sooner rather than later. Back to you two at the desk.
Thanks, Sam. Avery, do you like to decorate your apartment for the holidays?
Yes, I do. I love the holidays, and it is actually one of my favorite things to do. ntTV's Sydney Jolivet is live right now to give us a special look at the festive makeover our campus is getting. Sydney?
Ladies, it is officially the season of lights and the decorations are finally out of the attic. As you see behind me, I am behind the Union Orb Tree. Will have a grand presentation in just a few moments. The Orb Tree has been a tradition here for 7 years. It started in 2016 as a Student Government Association initiative. There are a total of 49 orbs, with each one being homemade in Germany. In UNT fashion, the holiday decorations are eco-friendly. Students are encouraged to come out, grab a picture with the tree, decorate a holiday cookie, and grab some light refreshments. Stay tuned to catch the annual lighting of the Union Orb Tree. And right after the break, holiday season hazards you need to be watching out for as you get ready to celebrate.
Ever happened to you?
My bike! My bike is gone!
Stolen bikes are an epidemic sweeping college campuses across America.
What am I supposed to do?
It's quite simple. The We Mean Green Fund has partnered with the UNT Police Department to offer free bike locks to any UNT student with a bike. Just show up with your bike in tow and ask.
Now I'll never lose my bike ever again.
Enough worrying. Get your bike log today.
While we all love the holidays, they tend to be the time of year when hospitals see an influx of patients in the ER. The Consumer Product Safety Commission has some great advice to keep yourself and your family safe. CNN's Karen Kaifa has the story.
Dramatic demonstrations to underscore how the season of lights and wonder can bring household hazards. The Consumer Product Safety Commission releasing a new report about fires and injuries related to holiday decorating, cooking, and more.
How the unthinkable can happen in an instant. Fires involving Christmas trees and candles are far too frequent in this holiday season.
The CPSC says an average of 1,600 cooking fires take place on Thanksgiving Day, more than 3 times the daily average. CPSC says to stay close while food is on the stove or in the oven and place a turkey fryer far from the house, never on the porch or in the garage. The CPSC also reports nearly 15,000 people were treated in hospital emergency rooms last holiday season between November and January due to decorating-related injuries. More than 40% of those injuries involved falls. And a dry tree is a more flammable tree. A live Christmas tree needs plenty of water, and check for broken light bulbs and frayed wires regularly. When it comes to holiday toys,
When you're buying toys, making sure they're age appropriate, because we do see a lot of injuries associated with small parts for children.
CPSC did say their researchers observed a downward trend from 2015 to 2022 in toy-related injuries for children 14 years and younger. In Washington, I'm Karen Kaifa.
The holiday season is always a hectic time of year, and I'm always looking for ways to decorate around the house and to just get out and have some fun.
Well, our live anchor, Anna Fergine, might have something fun going on. Anna?
That's right, ladies. With the end of the semester nearing, stress levels can start rising too. I know with my workload, I can get stressed sometimes. But with the right music, my peace is always restored. And UNT gets it too. Right here behind me, tonight, 2 solo artists and a band will be performing live music. You can find them here at the Union's 4th floor rooftop from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. If you're looking for a time to just sit back, relax, and enjoy some sweet tunes, this is the event for you. I'm Anna Fergine with ntTV News. Ladies, back to you.
Thanks, Anna. Hopefully there are some lullabies in those nighttime tunes, though, because daylight savings has my sleep schedule messed up big time.
Oh yes, hopefully the sun can come out and wake us up for the rest of the week. Let's go ahead and toss it back to our weather anchor, Sam Price, to see what we can expect. Sam?
Thanks, guys. Right now we have some relatively normal weather with 68 degrees in Gainesville, Sherman, and Bowie. As you go down, though, it's a little warmer, like 70 in Fort Worth and in Dallas. And there's a 69 here in Stevensville and a 71 in Graham. Clear outlier. As we expand our map a little bit, we can see that it's still rather normal. We have a 72 in Austin, a 68 in Houston. Those cold winds from the ocean is cooling Houston a little bit down. 71 degrees in Shreveport and a 69 in Oklahoma City. Looking at our weekly weather day by day, we can see that it's going to be rather cloudy. It's going to be a little cold as the week progresses, and we'll have a rainstorm this Sunday with 96% chance of rain. As you can see, this coming Tuesday, we're going to have a cold temperature day at 54 degrees with a low of 44. That may strike some colder weather, but you never know. It's Texas. So I'm still legally required to say this. No, you can't swim. But I wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate this holiday season, and a prosperous new year. Thank you. Back to you two at the desk.
Thank you, Sam. Avery, I think it's time to go back to our live shot reporter, Sydney Jolivet, because there's 5 more minutes until the beautiful lighting of the orb tree outside of the Union.
I am excited to see it. Sydney, what do you have for us?
Thank you again, ladies. We have 5 more minutes until our tree is a little spoiler there, ladies and gentlemen, a slight sneak peek of what we're going to witness in 5 minutes. The tree will light up the UNT South Lawn with all of its beauty. As we prepare to travel home for the holidays and with finals coming up, it's something pretty to look at as you walk around campus is always a plus for college students. The gorgeous hues of green and white bring a lot of campus spirit and holiday cheer to the University of North Texas. Now the tree will remain lit until the end of the semester, so there are plenty opportunities to come across the South Lawn and get a good look and take a beautiful picture. That's all the beauty info I have for you now. Signing off, I'm Sydney Jolivet. Back to you ladies in the studio.
Thank you, Sydney. That looks so gorgeous. This is exactly why Christmas is my favorite time of year.
It was literally straight out of a Hallmark movie. But besides any of that, when I was a little girl, I used to leave chocolate chip cookies out for Santa.
I'm more of a sugar cookie girl, but I'm always open to try new flavors. Joyce Murphy is in the studio with Denton Needs to tell us about a cookie shop offering a wide variety of cookie flavors with a twist.
Thank you, Avery. Trying new foods can be exciting for some, but for others, it can be a challenge when you have to practice certain dietary restrictions. I took a visit to a cookie shop on a mission to create inclusive treats.
For many, shopping is a way to alleviate stress, yet finding the right places to spend money can be challenging when looking for shops that provide certain practices.
I look for, thoughtfulness, like are they offering different, if someone has allergies, are they offering options for people with allergies, or if it's clothing, are they buying these products from sustainable places?
For Veronica Powell, the owner of the Cookie Crave, inclusivity is her main priority.
I am definitely allergic to nuts, and my son has gluten and dairy allergies as well, so we used to have to bake everything at home. It's hard to find sweets anyway, or baked goods that are not cross-contamination or without risk due to our allergies, so we started from there.
Although the idea of the cookie shop was already developed, Veronica endured many obstacles after signing the lease for the shop.
So opening before COVID was definitely a struggle. We couldn't go back on our lease. It was already signed, and all of our plans we couldn't do anymore because a couple weeks later it was shut down.
With Powell having to find creative ways to operate during COVID-19, she remained determined to bring her passion to life and create a welcoming space.
It's not your average cookie you find at a cookie shop, right? And then also what I think makes us great too is that because we have allergies too, we don't want to limit our vegan and gluten-free to just 2 or 3 flavors. We have over 25 flavors and are vegan and gluten-free as well. So most of the flavors that I do and are nut-free, we can also mimic in our vegan and gluten-free flavors.
Though Powell has made a lot of progress since opening, for her, this is only the beginning for the Cookie Crave.
My hope would be to grow our business as far as our foot traffic here in Denton, and also open up a second location. So in the next 5 years, I'm hoping that we can grow and pivot from kind of the rough, rocky start of COVID and inflation, increased ingredients, and just all the challenges through that, and stay open.
Thanks, Sydney. Make sure to stick around for a look at UNT's newest top eagle to join the nest, Dr. Bimper.
Make sure Brooke, have you noticed how many people are on campus this semester?
Well, campus has definitely been packed, and I think it's because we are now number 3 in the state as the university systems go. UT Austin first, then A&M, and then us.
Well, that makes sense. ntTV's Kennedy Fowler has an update on another group of Texas schools experiencing a growth spurt. Kennedy?
Yes, colleges around Texas have seen an uptick in enrollment, especially at community colleges. After a historic drop in enrollment at community colleges between 2019 and 2021, fall data shows a big recovery post-pandemic. Around 680,000 students enrolled in this fall, making a 4.2% increase since 2021. This is a surprise to many, as enrollment is typically expected to increase during an economic recession. Affordability is one of the main factors in this increase, as students come to get a secondary degree and certificate. New state funding allows students to be able to get their education for less, mainly at community colleges. Back to you ladies at the desk.
Okay. Pitch it? Okay. Thanks, Kennedy. Well, we are about to pitch it to the tree. Let's go ahead and see what is going on over there.
At this point, you guys are allowed to go and do some cookie decoration and get some hot cocoa from you.
As you guys can hear her now, they are doing cookie decorating, they are having refreshments, and you can take your very own picture in front of the tree. They are going to be celebrating as long as they can. It is a little dark, but as you can see behind me, the tree is lighting the south lawn. A perfect way to kick off final season and get ready to travel home for the holidays. There are so many people out here having a great time, and I'm going to go enjoy it myself. Signing off for North Texas Television, I'm Sydney Jolivet.
Thanks, Kennedy. Well, one man who is seeing the growth on the UNT campus firsthand is our new Executive Dean of the College of Liberal Arts and Social Sciences. Last night, ntTV's news director Isabella Quintanilla introduced us to Dr. Bimper on his journey in sports and academia. Tonight, he gives us some insight into what his values are and what his life has made him the person that he is today.
So how do you go from, studying sports psychology, being a football player in the NFL, to becoming the dean of the College of Liberal Arts and Social Sciences? Seems like a quick turn.
Yeah, I'm sure there's many paths to get to this spot. As most roles, there's a lot of ways to get somewhere. For me, I was really interested in, from a research standpoint, kind of these intersections of race and sport, and so that really led me through my, my academic journey as a graduate student and faculty member, and a lot of that drew on my kind of own personal experience. So in many ways, I was kind of always being very self-reflective of the experiences I had, and that made me very curious as a faculty member to ask other questions. I was recruited back to my alma mater to serve as a senior associate athletic director for diversity, equity, inclusion. And so this role didn't exist at that time. And so I stepped into this role without a blueprint, but I was passionate from a scholarship, from a researcher's perspective. And this gave me the opportunity to think about how to put theory into practice and to work with a population that was near and dear to my heart. Those kind of leadership opportunities came along the way. I don't know if I was always planning every step.
Yeah, it wasn't something you were like, I need to do this. It's just kind of...
Some folks say you plan every step. I would say that my journey has been a little bit more intentionally opportunistic. I want to get involved and want to say yes to a lot of things. Sometimes you need to say no, or maybe this is not the right time. But when opportunities came, I'd say, okay, I'll take a risk here. I don't exactly know the path. We'll get in there, we'll start working on it and see what can unfold. And so that's been a little bit of my nature.
You definitely seem like the kind of guy who's willing to take on any challenge and do the best at it. So where do you think that came from?
Yeah, if it's cliche, it comes from my parents. My mother didn't go past the 9th grade in her education, and so seeing how she worked, she took risk. she'd probably laugh. Some of them were not wise, and some of them she was learning along the way. She was trying to find her journey, and my father, immigrated to the country, as I mentioned earlier, and he comes to a country by himself, has to find his way himself, and so that was instilled in me.
If you missed last night's segment, make sure to check that out, and don't forget to watch tomorrow and Tuesday night for the last 2 segments. I'm sure our graduating athletes are saying a bittersweet goodbye as well.
Well, Avery, there's definitely been lots of ups and downs in the sports world. Let's check in with our sports reporter, Ben Wolf, to see what's happening. Ben?
Thank you. Coming up next, a suspect in the death of former NHL player Adam Johnson has been arrested. I'll have that update here right after the short break.
Did you know you have access to video equipment like DVDs, video games, and cameras? That's right, you do. Come on down to Chilton Library and fulfill your media dream. Located on the bottom floor next to the student sculpture. Hope to see you there soon. Hey girl, you know you look good. I like the way you move and groove. I'm not sure.
Police have just arrested someone on suspicion of manslaughter in the death of Adam Johnson. Johnson was a 29-year-old who played for the Nottingham Panthers and a former NHL player. But on October 28th, he suffered a fatal cut to the neck by Matthew Petgrave's skate blade in the Panthers game against Sheffield Steelers. The South Yorkshire Police officially announced the arrest of the man on suspicion of manslaughter Tuesday, but have not yet identified him. However, they have confirmed that the man is still in police custody. Cowboys linebacker Leighton Vander Esch's season is over after jamming his neck in a Week 5 game against the 49ers. It was predicted that he would come off of injured reserve this week, but unfortunately his symptoms have lingered. Sadly, this wasn't Leighton's first injury. In 2019, after being diagnosed with cervical spinal stenosis, he underwent a fusion procedure in offseason. This injury has many wondering if Leighton will return at all. Frankly, it's too early to tell, but one thing is for sure, he will not return this season. On a more positive note, the UFC held its 295th tournament this past weekend. Alex Pereira defeated Yuri Prochazka in round 2 of the main event Saturday. From the start, the two looked to be evenly matched, with both landing the same number of strikes. But all that would change when Prochazka landed a well-calculated takedown after changing his stance when suffering damage from Pereira's calf kicks. In the second round, Prochazka put on the pressure, landing numerous strikes to Pereira's head and backing him into a corner. In defense, Pereira landed a left hook that put Prochazka on the canvas and proceeded to hit him with a barrage of elbows until the referee intervened. Now, because Prochazka had not gone unconscious when the referee intervened, many argue that he wrongfully stopped the fight. But regardless, Pereira took the light heavyweight title. Well, that's all for sports, and back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Ben. Again, that tree was just so gorgeous, and I really need to go after this because this is something I cannot miss.
You're right, Avery, and I might have to join you.
Yes. Thank you, guys, and thank you for watching ntTV Nightly News.
Join us again tomorrow at noon and tomorrow evening at 6 here on North Texas Television.
Jingle bell time and jingle bell time, dancing and prancing in Jingle Bell Square. In the frosty air, what a bright time, it's the right time to rock the night away. Jingle bell time is a swell time to go gliding in the one-horse sleigh. Giddy up, jingle horse, pick up your feet, jingle around the clock. Mix and a mingle in the jingling feet, that's the Jingle Bell Rock.